For a while, a lot been coming out about people in romantic relationships living apart. I'd like to know what you guys think about it, and we're gonna do some in-depth talk about it. Check this out.
So we're seeing a shift in how people are thinking about relationships. So more people are moving away from the traditional idea that love means living under the same roof. So new research, it shows that nearly 40% of people say they rather not live with their partner, even in a serious committed relationship,
These
even
people
marriage.
are hurt.
Well, people say that having your own space can make a relationship stronger. You keep your independence, your routine, and you're choosing each other, not just the space. But everyone's not sold. Others say living apart can create distance, making it harder to stay connected and
Yes.
build long-term commitment. So I think the question is, can you really build a future with someone if you're not living under the same roof?
Let that sink in what you just heard, and let me know what's your thoughts on that. After careful, a little light research last night, it seems like a lot of people are choosing to love without a certain level of cohabitation. My question was why, which is what traditionally most people question would be. But for decades, for years, the goals look the same when it comes to relationships. You meet somebody, you fall in love, you move in together, you build a life under one roof. But something shifted. And now what I see is independence is starting to matter to people more than ever. And by people having their own routines, their own peace, in their own space, they don't want to lose that. And now people are considering living alone. Living alone, you control your environment. You protecting your mental space. You protecting your mental peace. You move how you want, when you want. No rules, regulations, policies, and procedures outside of your own. And a lot of people realizing I can love you, without sacrificing that other aspect. Nowadays, relationships are under a lot of pressure. Seem to be more pressure than ever because everybody looking at the social media level of perfection. So when you live together, things become shared. Nowadays, the women won't say so as far as the bills, but we're gonna say the bills, the responsibilities, the habits, the moods, the energy, the environment become a shared. It become a collective, uh, and this thing can turn into stress. Little things start to matter more. Who cleaning what? Who paying what? Who doing more? So you get this competition thing as opposed to enjoying each other. You start micromanaging your significant other. And these things can be stressful. They can be pressure. Uh, and people are saying, why rush into that? You also see a lot of the examples they're supposed to represent what we look up to failing. You see a lot of failed examples. Divorce rates through the roof, to the sky. Breakups. A lot of people living in toxic situations. People have literally watched relationships fall apart after moving in together. Prior to that, strong, healthy, seem to be solid. Moving in together, much more challenging. And that's what's making people think differently from where I sit. Maybe living apart can actually help us last longer. Because when you don't live together, the time together feels intentional. You miss each other. You avoid a certain level of burnout. And absence doesn't weaken the attraction. Sometimes it actually strengthens the attraction. Some would say to each his own, but this has become a phenomenon. What about financial reality? Let's be honest. Living together used to be about building, growing, legacy. Now sometimes it feels more like survival. And Certain people feel used. Again, with the pressure. Even trapped. Trapped is one of those main things. So instead of that, they choosing to live separate until it possibly make more sense. I'm not sure. Is living separate selfish? These are questions that we are asking. We asking you guys, and we are giving a little insight on different perspectives. Are people redefining what love really looks like? Not everybody believes that living together equals a stronger relationship. Some people may think living apart creates a certain set of peace, healthy space, which may allow for you guys to have a stronger connection. Because now it's not about following the tradition. It's not. It's becoming a thing of this era, thing of the past. It's about creating relationships that actually work for you. And what that may be may not be the same for me or you. It's a deep topic. It's something to discuss. It's something to think about, because we're starting to hear a lot of people on different podcasts come out and say these things. So when you hear that 40% of the people don't want to live with their partner, don't just assume that the commitment is dying. Maybe people are just being more intentional. Or is everybody full of shit? I'm just asking. What's the question? Why don't you want to live together? Or is the real question, would you do it? What's your take on that? What kind of relationship actually brings out the best in the both of you? What kind of relationship is that? Together or together? Don't let that go over your head. I want to know, how do you guys like these topics and these conversations? Based on the reactions and the interactions I've received over the past 7 months through heavy TikTok interaction, then over the past 3 years through other social media accounts, I would say that people are actually in love with these topics, and they growing, and they talk about them every single day. So guess what we did? Film Barrel Studios and The Bigger Play has linked up and decided to bring these conversations to life on the big screen. But we need your help. Do me a favor and hit that QR code right now and help us bring these conversations to life. That's it. We're going to leave it right there for now. Tap in with us.